Hi Marika, thank you for joining us in WOC interview before WOC 2021. Yeah, my first question, you have a lot of success in relays, you have medals from the middle, and on the last championships you have been fourth on long, if I'm right. So, and definitely sprint is not your weakness as well. So what are you aiming for this year WOC?
Yeah, that's true that I like to run all the distances, and well, in February I hoped that I could run all the distances in World Champs, but now I couldn't take part to European Champs in sprint, and that was our selection race for WOC. So I'm not going to run sprint, and I'm aiming only to forest distances this year.
Okay, you've spent some time already in WOC terrains. Have you managed to visit all the types of the terrains, and what were your impressions?
Yeah, I spent 2 weeks there, just before European Champs, and that was actually the reason I didn't go to European Champs, because it was the only chance during spring for us to go to Czech. Yeah, well, my impressions, well, the terrains were much tougher, even tougher than I thought, because I hadn't been there before, just at one World Cup, 2018, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the long distance terrains were more like what I expected, but the middle distance was more surprising, because from the map it looked like quite basic Middle European terrain, maybe a little bit like in European Champs in Czech 2016. But yeah, it was much more demanding than I thought before. All those rocks and green areas, and yeah, it was much harder than I thought.
That's right. 2016 on the European Championships, you got the bronze medal from the middle. So, so I suppose you think it will be a little bit tougher this year to get the medal.
Yeah, well, of course, it's always quite hard competition for medals. Well, 2016, it was my first time in Czech. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't have any expectations, and it was my international breakthrough in forest distances. So it was quite easy to run that race because there was no pressure on me. Now the situation is different because I have been running quite well, especially in middle distance. But I hope that I can survive from that terrain and get the medal also this year. But it will be hard.
So when we talk about if you talk about the preparations you've done already, are there any improvements you need to do so you will come again to train in the WOC terrains before the WOC?
Well, in physical side, I think my biggest weakness is hill running, and you need it a lot in Czech, because in Finland we don't have, well, hills big enough and steep enough. So I have been trying to train a lot in my hill running during winter and now also during spring. But when I visited Czech, I noticed that there is still a lot to do. And maybe if we talk technical side, in long distance, it's the road choices, because you sometimes have to go really far around, and it's hard. I guess it's difficult for everyone from Finland because we have used to go straight always, and yeah, straight is shortest, and usually in Finland it's also fastest way. And in middle distance, there's also a lot to learn from the mapping style, because there is a lot of rocks in the map, and it's sometimes quite difficult to understand which rocks are mapped and which are not, and what is good things to read from the map.
Mm-hmm. And so, and will you come for some training again?
Yeah, actually, we have our own selections now next weekend, last weekend of May. And next week, I'm aiming to come back to Czech for 2 weeks training camp and also to run the international selection races to see how I'm doing compared to international runners.
Okay, that's cool. We will see your comparison with other runners in 10 days.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, well, it's almost 2 years that you have been running only national competitions.
That's right. That was my another question, not so connected to WOC itself, but you've changed the club. You are now Kalevan Rasti runner, if I'm right.
Yes.
How many races did you manage to run in New Jersey?
Well, so far I have run only one race this year, and it was our sprint selection. But now next weekend it's time to see how red and black colors can help me in these terrains. Yeah.
Okay, and except the walk, what are your other plans for this season? With postponed Eucola, I suppose it make it easier for you to run a Eucola when it is after walk.
Yeah, that's true, and Eucola is of course a big goal for our club. We have, well, quite a young women's team, except for me, but yeah, others are young and eager, and I guess we have, well, good possibilities to surprise and maybe run even to top 3 in Eucola. And of course, my other goals are World Cup races. There should be some really nice terrains also in Sweden and Italy this year.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting plan, and I hope all the competitions will be on and will be organized finally.
Yeah, me too.